Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and joining me for today's video. Guys, today I've got a really good tube fishing trick today. Tubes are probably one of the most underutilized soft plastic baits today. These are incredible fish catchers. They had a run of popularity back in sort of like the mid to late 90s, and then with the advent of so many different types of soft plastic technology and different soft plastic categories like creature baits and that type of stuff, it sort of fell by the wayside a little bit. But guys, all the old school pitchers and flippers I know, they always still use a tube. And I've got a couple different modifications I want to show with you guys that will really help you get more bites and also land more fish on a tube. So getting that today's video. Also, guys, before we get started, thank you very much for everybody that's hit that subscribe button here to the Fishing Teacher. Man, if you want to help the channel out and something that's free and easy, just hit the subscribe button, like the videos, share the videos, comment on the videos. That YouTube really responds to that type of interaction and helps the channel grow, so appreciate that. And also, guys, anyone interested in getting some tubes or any other stuff for your fishing gear, I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you guys could use that link, it's a good way to help the channel, and me and my family really appreciate everybody that's been doing that. Okay, guys, I love a tube, man. I've been fishing them forever. Primarily, when I'm fishing a tube, I pitch and flip it. So I've got two identical tubes here. I'm going to show you the modification. Take a look at these, how they look right now. They're both the same. And I'm going to show you pretty much three different modifications I do to it. First of all, like all soft plastics, you guys that have been with the channel for a long time, you know that you got to rough this plastic up. And depending upon the brand of plastic that you use, some plastics got more salt impregnated than others. So sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring that salt to the surface there. And by doing that, it not only softens the bait up a lot, but it also changes the coloration of the bait. It makes it look a lot more natural. So I'm going to show you guys a before and after here of the exact same tube. And you can see I've just been doing it for 20 seconds or so. Notice the difference here, how it looks. You know, this one that I just roughed up, it's got a little bit different coloration. It's a little bit more pale looking. And I love that. And in addition to being more natural looking like that, this tube now is super soft. And this tube is like pretty hard right here. So on a hard tube, you're going to have a lot harder time with hook penetration. So let me show you an example here. Let's say, for example, you rig your tube up. This is the one that's straight out of the box. And you can see it looks sort of stiff. Plastic is pretty hard. This is how most people rig a tube, is they just put it on straight out of the box. They got an EWG hook, and they run it all the way through like that. Now, you can catch fish on it, but guys, this is not how you want to fish it. First of all, break that up. Second thing you want to do is take a pair of scissors. I don't have them with me. And you want to cut about a 3/4 inch long notch right here down the side of the tube. I'm going to come up like that. So I've got about a 3/4 inch notch in the tube like that opens it up. Now the reason you do this is by making this notch here, you've only got to penetrate one part of the plastic, because this is going to be open where the hook lays. So you've only got to penetrate half of the tube. So it's going to make your hook sets a lot easier and your landing. So you come in like this, and then come in behind your hook and go in the open area like that. I'll show you there. So therefore now with this situation, the only part of the hook that's through the tube is on one side of it there. And then when you're laying it on there, guys, try to lay your tube. See I have the hook. The hook is just flat on there. It's not even back into the tube. Unless you're fishing super heavy cover, just try to lay that hook without putting the point back into the plastic. That's going to add up to a lot more fish. And then finally, notice how uniform those legs are right there. One of the things I like to do is, first of all, separate the legs, because a lot of these legs, like look at this one right here, it's stuck together. There's two legs on it that are stuck. Make sure that you pull those legs apart. When you see the ones that are stuck like that, that's going to give you more action on the legs. And then take 3 or 4 legs and pinch them off halfway up like this. And what that's going to do, it's going to make the bait look a little bit more not unnatural, but it's going to look a little bit more wounded or something like that. It's not just perfect. So here's the before and after. Before the modification and after the modification. And I can promise you guys right there, that tube right there will get more bites than one straight out of the package here. So a couple just really easy modification tips for a tube. A couple different other tips I'll give you for flipping and pitching a tube is try to go with a light sinker. I normally use a 1/8 ounce or 3/16 ounce sinker, and I never peg it unless the cover is super thick. There's something about using a tube flipping and pitching with a sinker that's not pegged, you get more bites. And most of the time I'm pitching it on 20 to 25 pound test Seaguar and Vizex 4 carbon line. You can pitch a tube on heavy line, and I just fish it around to whatever targets, shallow targets. I've caught them on lily pads, grass beds, reeds, cattails, brush piles, flooded bushes, docks. It's just a great all-around bait, especially when the fishing's a little bit tougher and the fish are finicky. So, guys, hope it helps you catch some good ones, and we'll talk later.